Hi there, I'm Bunna, and this is my Grid-Locked ARK series. The map has been divided into grids that can only be unlocked by completing certain milestones I've set for my character. Grids can be lost if I die and can't retrieve my items, or if I die in a boss fight. The series will end when I've either unlocked all of the grids, or defeated the Alpha Tier boss encounter. Hello there, everybody! Bunna here, and welcome back to some more ARK Grid-Locked. When we last left off, we tamed ourselves a Buckshiz McGraw, a level 145 Argent that unlocked us a new grid. And since then, a lot of communicating has been happening. I've been reaching out to all of you guys, all those subscribers out there, and asking for your opinion on some things. And last episode I raised the question of would you guys be open to me adding additional ways to unlock grids into the series. And I put out a poll associated with those questions, and it got a pretty resounding yes from all of you. A lot of votes come in, and it's around like 91% of you, or something like that, voted for me to add additional ways. So following that poll, I decided to put up another poll on the channel, basically pitching the ideas that I had, and some of the ideas that you guys have offered me through the comments and stuff, and that poll passed with like a 92%. It's crazy. So in this episode, briefly, I want to talk about all those changes, and basically what it means for the series, and what it's going to change moving forward. So basically, if you didn't catch the poll that went live on my community page, I'm just going to briefly go over all those categories right now of the new things that I can do to unlock grids in this series. So the first one that I pitched is if I get a unique color or stat mutation on dinos that I'm breeding. And that is only one grid per creature type. And that's uniformly between colors and stats. So say I breed 2 Pteranodons, and I get a color mutation. That will get me a brand new grid, but I can't unlock another grid from that tier of creature. So if I were to keep breeding those Pteranodons and I got more color mutations, or I got another stat mutation, it would not result in a second grid, because I already acquired one from that species of creature. Another way of unlocking an additional grid is if I'm breeding creatures and I achieve a baby that is over level 200. So basically, if I just keep breeding something, I'll get to that point eventually. But obviously it's going to be a lot easier if I get higher levels and breed those higher levels together. And just like with the color and stat mutations, I can only unlock a maximum of 1 grid per creature that is bred. So, in the example of those Pteranodons I was talking about, if I were to breed them and I got a baby that was level 200 plus, that would get me a new grid, but I couldn't just keep breeding them and unlocking non-stop grids. I'd have to move on to a different type of creature. I will also unlock a new grid if I collect a Black Pearl, which might be something that we do this episode. I'm not sure yet. I will get 1 grid if I acquire an Alpha Rex trophy, an Alpha Mosa trophy, or an Alpha Tusa trophy. So 3 grids in total for all of those uniformly. I will get an additional grid for unlocking all of the artifacts on the island. So I already get 1 grid per artifact, but this will grant me an additional grid if I collect all of them. I will get a grid if I collect 5 red loot crates. And it doesn't matter if they're in the ocean or if they're in a cave. It's just 5 red loot crates, and I get a grid. I'm not counting loot crates that I've already looted, because this is technically changing the roles, and I don't want to just like all of a sudden get free grids for things that weren't in the roles initially. So it's 5 red loot crates moving forward. And one of you left a comment suggesting this one. I'm actually going to take this idea from you. You said I should get a grid if I kill a wild Giga, which I think is a really, really good way of unlocking a grid. I don't even know why I didn't think of that, but that is awesome. I currently have no way of achieving that goal, outside of maybe, like, hanging from a tree with a grappling hook or something and just shooting a thing with a shotgun, but I'm pretty sure I would never kill it that way. So it would probably involve me, like, breeding Rexes and taking, like, a group of Rexes to kill it. It's not very feasible, let's be honest. This is me here. But it's just an additional way for me to get grids, which I kinda like. So all in all, that is all of the new ways for me to unlock grids. I tried to keep them challenging, based on ideas that I had, and then also based on feedback from you guys and comments that you left. I really like some of your suggestions, and I think that they're gonna pan out really well in the end. because it's not compromising the series. If anything, I think it's going to make it a lot more intriguing, because it kind of, like, gives me, I don't know, incentive is the word I'm looking for. It gives me incentive to go do things that I otherwise wasn't going to do. You know, I really had no intentions of breeding creatures outside of Megatheriums. I really had no desire to go kill high-level alphas, but I now have that to do. So I think all in all, it's going to make the series a lot more interesting, while still maintaining the integrity of everything we've done up until this point. So with all of that being said, let's get started into this episode. My mouth is already dry from all that talking, so if you could please do me a favor, go down below and press that like button. Let's try to get this video to 40 likes. That's the trend that I'm gonna keep up with. And you guys so far have been really awesome with supporting this series, both with the likes, with the comments, and especially with the polls I've been posting on the channel. I really can't thank you enough. The feedback has been awesome, and it's crazy to think that we're 27 episodes into this series so far, and you guys are still loving it and supporting it the way that you were when the first episode launched. I mean, that's just awesome. I can't thank you guys enough for that. So as I kind of suggested, I think I want to go after that Black Pearl this episode. I think that might be a good goal for us. We're going to keep scouting for things along the way. At the very least, I might even head into the underwater cave on the east coast. Because there's a bunch of loot crates in there, which could nab me some really good items, but it could also progress me towards getting that other grid if I get 5 loot crates in a row. So, this is kind of like a 2 birds, 1 stone thing. If you're wondering how I plan on obtaining the Black Pearl, I plan on crossbowing a squid to death. And you heard me right. I'm going to crossbow a squid to death. Now, I know that sounds a bit crazy, but hear me out. I've done it before, many times in the past. On PvP servers, I would always go into the ocean with a good crossbow and a ton of fucking arrows, and just crossbow squids to death for their black pearls, and then I would help out my tribe by bringing those back and making motorboats. And we actually survived on PvP servers, a lot on motorboats. So I am very confident in my abilities to do this. I just need to make sure that I'm taking everything along with me that I'm going to need. So I'm going to make a bunch more arrows. I'm going to take these chairs, just in case. I'm probably going to take 1 extra scuba tank, and definitely 1 extra pair of flippers. Just in case I get hit and the flippers break, I want to make sure that I've got a second pair to get out of there quickly if I need to. And given that we're going to be in the ocean, I might even make a pair of scuba pants, which I don't have yet, but it might come in handy. Let's see, scuba pants, let's pull that stuff. What am I missing? Nothing. I must learn this engram before crafting it. Huh! I figured because it was showing up, I already knew how to make it. Bada boom, bada bam, baby. That'll keep me warm. And then let's go into our inventory and pull all the stuff we're going to need for arrows. Let's maybe make like 200. And I'm just going to craft these away for a minute here. Now, while those are crafting up, I want to take a look at this pin situation that we got going on. This is something else that we've needed to address for a couple episodes, and I just never got around to it. And some of you left some suggestions, which I think were pretty sweet, and I might abide by a couple of them. So basically, you guys were saying since I have most of the south unlocked, I could probably just remove those pins, and just know that I have it, basically. And I might do something along those lines. I tried to look at mods, like I talked about, but as far as I can see, there are no mods that allow you to add additional pins. And I tried even looking at like other things that could put beacons in the world, where I'd maybe like be able to see the grids that I don't have unlocked, but there's no way of doing it cleanly. So, or at a glance, I should say, like easily. I want to be able just to pull my map up like this, and be able to see where we have and where we don't, and I don't know of a mod to do that for us. So as you can see on my screen right now, this is the grids that we have unlocked. This is actually the intro sequence that I edit for the intro of each video. So that way you guys get to see the updated map. So this here is as up-to-date as it gets, including the new grid that we unlocked last episode, which I couldn't even mark on my map because I was out of pins. So I'm looking here to see what we can do, basically, to make our lives a lot easier. And what I'm thinking is, I might just put a green pin in the center of 4 grids that I have unlocked. So if you look over at that pattern, it would basically be a pin there, 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 and there, which would save me 16 pins? It would cost me 4, so I'd save 12 pins just by doing that little move. So I might do that real quick before we set out on our ocean adventures. Alright, so looking at our map now, I cleared out all the pins that I can group up, basically. So real quick, I'm actually going to bring this up on my other monitor over here so I can see it nice and clearly. Let's bring this back up in game. And we're going to now add a pin on the center point of grids that are 2x2, is basically what I'm getting at. So that's going to be 90-50, I believe, for the first one. So 90, 50. I don't know what I should name it, because I don't know what all we have. It's going to be kind of messed up. Maybe I'll just go in increments of 5. So I'll call it 5. Okay? So that puts a pin there. That basically means that I have the grids all around it unlocked, so that I just know that I'm in the clear. So if I see it on a center point, I just know that it's a 2x2 square.
5 minutes later.
Okay, I think I've got all the pins in place with the way they need to be set up. And I even put 2 pins on there where there are grids that we currently don't have unlocked that are just kind of out of the ordinary. So like the rest of it is all green pretty much, except on the outskirts of the ocean, and then those 2 grids that I have marked with a red pin. So just so I hopefully don't make the mistake of going through those grids, I wanted to make them stand out. But basically, as I was explaining before, if there's a pin on the center between the grids, that means it's a 2x2 square around it. And this is the best way I can think of. If you guys have a better way of marking the map, or coming up with something else to show which grids I have and which ones I don't, please let me know. I love hearing feedback, but if you guys are good with this, then this is the system that I'm going to roll with. Alright, let's grab ourselves some Bunna Bites. I might bring along some health brews, just in case. I got so many of them, I might as well use them in case I need them. And I want to take some cactus broth. But I don't know if I got any made. I might actually have to make some of that. Alright, what do I need for cactus broth? Let's see. Bunch of berries. Can I just pull? No, I need berries. Alright, let me throw down Brevin real quick, and we will get some berries. Oh, bring in these berries, baby! Oh, mama! Oh, daddy! Oh, God, I'm fat. I can't move. Ignore the death symbol up there on top of my base, by the way. I think I told you guys before, but every time I load in this server, my dude falls from the sky and dies on top of the base. I just make sure to empty his inventory every time. That way I don't actually lose anything. But yeah, my dead body has been on top of that base a lot. Alright, let's fire up some cactus sap real quick. I don't think I need a ton. I'll make like, I don't know, 200? There we go. And then we should just be able to pull everything we need into here. So if I do that, pull 5. Look at it go. Is it going? Turn it on. I think it's doing it. Haha! We're geniuses! This stuff is actually pretty easy to make, given my setup right now, so I'm probably going to take along, like, I don't know, maybe all 5 even? Probably don't need all 5, maybe just like 3. I'll put the other 2 in my fridge. Alright, and I have to wait on my timer before I can put down Xavier, so I'm going to go down here and pot up Brevin, and pull all the berries that are left in them into the feeding trough, because I might as well use them to feed my piggies. ARK is so weird with how things can be so bright, and then other things can be so dark. I can't even see my dude right now. He's just invisible. Okay, Mr. Brevin, you go for a nappy nap in here. Actually, opening up my cryo fridge reminds me I need to make more cryopods. I gotta do that at some point, because I am completely out. But right now, we're going on a Black Pearl excursion, and I don't want to mess that up. So quick double check before I go anywhere again. I've got my seats, I've got my arrows, I've got multiple scuba sets, I've got cactus broth, I've got Xavier. About the only other thing I want to take with me is a foundation and a bed. Just in case shit hits the fan, and I absolutely need a spawn point over there to save the day, basically. So I might even take along these spikes too, just to kind of put up on the beach maybe. And yeah, you know what, that's just going to draw attention, I'm not going to do that. Knowing my luck, dinos would just like walk into them and then start biting the thing that I put down. It's not worth it. Alright, we got ourselves a bed, we got ourselves a stone foundation. I actually might bring a metal one though. because they're not really hard to make. I got tons of resources. Let me just go into here. Metal... Do I not have metal foundations learned? Really? Really? Okay, metal foundation, let's craft that. And I think there's also a metal storage box. And I want to make that. It's actually right here. Now I'm looking at it. So we need to learn metal storage box. And the reason being is because I'm going to put Xavier in there. Just in case I die in the ocean, then I don't have to worry about losing him. But if I put him in like a regular wooden storage box, that can be destroyed by a dino or an alpha raptor or something like that, and I don't want to risk the chance of something destroying the box and then him despawning, basically. So, quick double check, foundation, bed, storage box. I think we're good. I think we're golden, people. Let's go on an ocean excursion. Alright, now squid basically only spawn on the very outskirts of the map, on the island. They spawn there, and they spawn within that eastern cave. I don't think it's wise for me to try to kill one inside the eastern cave, because it's tight quarters, and it would probably just wreck my face. So the method that I plan on doing is staying over top of the invisible barrier that exists in the ocean. So basically when you have those larger creatures like squid and the mosas and plesiosaurs, there's a certain cap that they just can't cross. So they swim up so high, and then they say, oh no, I can't do this, and then they swim back down below. And so if I stay above that barrier and shoot the squid from above that barrier, I can kill it without being in much danger, and then just go down and loot the black pearl when I'm all said and done. And that's kind of my plan. The unfortunate part is I only have a couple grids down here on the very outskirts of the map, and it's basically only in the south. So if I can find a squid down here, that will be sick, but I don't have the rest of the map to like swim around and check out and explore. I've actually only got one grid on the very outskirts of the ocean on the eastern coast. So if this doesn't pan out, I'm basically just going to head to that eastern cave and dive down in there to loot crates, because at least there I know I can probably work towards getting the other grid if I loot 5 red loot crates. So that's the plan. That's what we're doing. Storage box. Bada boom. Looks sexy. Let's slap ourselves a bed down. And my actual original base is not far from here. So, if this bed gets destroyed, it's really not that big of a deal. I'm just going to call this oil spawn. And we'll leave it at that. Mr. Xavier, you did awesome getting us here. But now it is your time to go back to sleepers. Alright, as for us, we are going to pop ourselves cactus broth, put on a scuba suit, and let's get rolling. Let's see if we can have any luck down here, people. The chances of me finding a squid are pretty darn rare. Pretty rare. But we're going to give it a shot. We might just get lucky. Alright, well there's lots of plesiosaurs. No shortage of those. Which means there's probably not a squid in the same spot. I would think that they're probably spaced apart a little bit. Well, nothing so far. Getting towards the barrier here, which is fine. I have all these grids unlocked. I've been making sure to check. I'm actually going to stop here for 1 second. I want to take off this ridiculous ghillie glove, because it is blocking my screen. My chair's down there. And then now I get a better look. So you can see we're golden for a couple more grids this way. I'm going to keep on checking it out, but it's not looking promising so far. You know, I just now thought of this. This second I thought of this. If I can find Eurytrepids can also drop black pearls. And I did not think of that when I initially made this rule set. I kind of made it with killing a squid in mind. But now that the rule's established, I probably could just kill a Eurytrepid and get it. But I don't know if I'm comfortable with doing that. Because I made that rule with the intention of killing a squid. You know, I just now realized I could get it off of lesser creatures. Alright, well I'm going to have to put a chair down here, because I need to get some stamina. Luckily nothing is aggro to me right now, so I should be good. I'm probably going to gather these pearls along the way too, because I always need pearls. Don't mind me. I'm just a dude in the ocean, sitting on a chair. Alright, pick that bad boy back up. Might as well grab these along the way, like I said. Take advantage of it. Alright, this is the last grid we're coming up on that we have the chance of getting a squid. So if there's not one here, we'll have to backtrack and go farther east. Oh, there's a Eurotrepid! Couple Eurotrepids. I don't have a pickaxe, which you need a pickaxe to harvest black pearls from them, I'm pretty sure. And also, like I was saying, I don't know that I feel comfortable with taking a grid from getting a black pearl from them, because that wasn't my intention initially. Alright, so any farther north, we can't go, because I don't have that grid just this way. But I do have this cave, and I'm going to swim inside here and take all the pearls.
Oh yeah, feels good to be on my feet for a second. Oh, there's an XP booster. Gimme, gimme. I'll take that. Hey, if we find a squid now, that might really come in handy. Alright, I think that's plenty. We emptied the cave out. I'm gonna stop there. He is basically encumbered. So, probably not the smartest thing to be this way down and swimming around in the ocean.
Alright, back in the water we go. Here we go. Round 2. I'm trying to keep my eye out for loot crates too. I used to swim around and loot them all the time, but it's been a little while. I don't quite remember where all of them spawn. I want to say that there's one that appears over here, maybe? I can't quite remember, I think. Like back in this coral or something is a loot crate spawn, but it's obviously not always guaranteed to be there. Nah, I'm not seeing it. I think it usually spawns right down here, and it's not there. So I'm going to say it's not there. We really can't go any farther west here. So unless I can see a squid from basically where I am, yeah, we need to turn back. And I'm not seeing any squids. So we're going to start heading to the east. And I'll save you guys that ridiculously long swim. I'll just kind of cut the video, and hopefully see you more to the east.
2 hours later.
I'm pretty tempted just to drop all those pearls. This is like excruciatingly slow. Like so slow. Alright, well there's a plesiosaur up ahead. Not really what I was looking for. These are actually the 2 that I spotted originally. So I'm gonna swim upwards just in case they aggro me. Because I'm moving slow with these pearls, and I know I can't outpace them. But if I can stay above that barrier that I was speaking of, then there's not a problem. The cactus broth should also help us out. I don't even think they'll see us, to be honest. Maybe. Maybe. What are you doing, dude? Stay away. Okay, I think we're good. My stamina is kind of getting low. And I can't go down to put the chair because obviously this is underneath me. And besides, I'm really encumbered from these pearls, so I might actually just swim up to the shore and bank these pearls in that storage chest and then dive back down here again.
Oh, look at that. It's like perfect. We nailed that. Okay, get the hell out of my inventory, pearls. I think I'm also going to slap my ghillie gear in here because I don't need it right now, and it's just weighing me down. So, should make life a lot easier.
Well, still not seeing a squid anywhere. At least not yet. In the past, I always had better luck finding them on, like, the northeast side of the map. Which we don't have any of the deep ocean unlocked up there. So this might have to end up being a grid that we bank in the future, which is why we have the backup plan of going to that cave and looting crates. But I still want to check it, you know? There's nothing to say that they don't spawn here any less than they spawn to the north. That's just where I've had better luck, personally. Oh, that's a Basilosaurus with a bunch of freaking mantas. I don't want to get near that thing. That would mess my life up.
Is that one of those... Is that one of those really rare things? Yeah! The Lebowitz? Aren't those things, like, crazy rare? Which actually just reminded me, I forgot to mention at the beginning of this video, whenever I was talking about all the rules, taming a unicorn would also result in a net gain of 3 grids. And that was per suggestion from one of you guys, which I really, really like that idea, because unicorns are crazy super rare, and it's actually pretty difficult to tame them if you don't have the carrots and stuff. So I really like that idea of getting a bunch of grids for something that's so rare, and I don't know why I forgot to include that, so I apologize, but I'm mentioning it now. I probably had it in text at the beginning of the video, and I'm just now talking about it, so you guys probably already saw it, but yeah, I apologize. That is also a way of getting grids. Alright, so this grid right here, I do not have unlocked. So, I can't go any farther this way, which means I have scoured all of the available ocean to the south, and there are no squids currently alive down here. There is an alpha shark, however. Probably don't want to pick a fight with that thing. Also not really a need. Yeah, I'm not gonna mess with that. We're just gonna leave it go. Alright, so plan B is to head back to the base and grab ourselves some more cactus broth, because I just consumed the last of it when I was diving down here, and then we're gonna head to that eastern underwater cave and try looting some crates.
5 minutes later.
Okay, made it back to the storage chest. I'm gonna grab all this stuff, and we're gonna head back to base and get ourselves that cactus broth so we can go to that eastern cave.
5 minutes later.
I'm gonna dump all these pearls inside the fabricator. I'm actually kind of super glad that we did pick those up, because we always need pearls, and I think they will come in handy in the future. I'm gonna repair my scuba gear, just so that I know that we're in good shape. And then I'll probably just grab that cactus broth out of the fridge that we overcrafted, because I think 2 is probably gonna be enough. That cave isn't very big, and we're certainly not gonna go through the whole thing. I'm just gonna, like, tuck in and check some things out, see if I can find some easy crates, and then probably dip. I also want to make 1 additional metal storage box, so that I can put Xavier in it whenever we go on that beach, because I'm pretty sure all that I have over there is that wooden storage box that we used from before. And we're off! Here we go! On another mission! So, oddly enough, I still can't cut straight over because we don't have that grid that's marked with the red pin, but I can go just above it. So that'll save us a lot of time having to loop all the way out around like I had to do that one episode when we got the obsidian from that mountain. Oh, there's a purple drop coming down, and it is within a grid that we have. I am going to try to take advantage of this. Okay, what do we got? Anything good? Journeyman Stego Saddle Blueprint. No, I don't think so. I don't really need that in my life. I'm just spyglassing everything down here to make sure there's not any 145 pluses that we can take advantage of. But from everything I've seen, they're all pretty low level. So, I think we're in the clear. Alright, and here's my little shack that I had built way back when. We did that dive quite a few episodes back, actually. Alright, Mr. Xavier. Your purpose is once again served. Get inside the pod. Metal storage box I am just going to place right down here. I think it should be good. Nothing can damage it there. We'll slap him inside, plus that. Probably half the med brews. I'm not going to need that many, and they're just weighing me down. And I don't think I'm going to need all these arrows, because I don't plan on killing a squid in there. So I'm going to leave some of them. I'll leave 1 stack in there. I'll take the rest. If I find a low-level squid in there, and it's like stuck in the corner, I might try to do it. Maybe. We'll see. Also, it just dawned on me, I didn't grab the cactus sap. Motherfucker! You know what? Xavier needs exercise. That's what this boils down to. It wasn't a mistake. I'm just trying to be super nice to him. You know? Oh! Oh! That is a 145 Pteranodon. Which would not get me a new grid, because I've already tamed Xavier, who was 145 plus. But, that might be good for breeding. I might have to take advantage of this, people. I might just need to knock this thing out. Okay, back at the base.
let's not forget it this time. I'm grabbing the cactus sap right now. Cactus broth, rather. There we go. Let's see. I'm going to need some trank arrows. So I'll just use my crossbow for that pteranodon. Probably just take, 17 should be plenty. It'll probably go out in, 2, to be honest. I am not forgetting the spikes this time. I got them. I'm learning.
5 minutes later.
I found them. We got them. I did not bring a bolo, though, so I'm going to have to very quickly make a bolo for this thing. Let's see. Pickaxe. Smack that, once. There we go. Grab a couple stones. Are there even stones? Do stones even exist? There we go. Grab a little bit of fiber. Okay. I think he's already coming down, actually, so we might be in luck here. Get out those bolos real quick. Bada boom, bada bam. Bada boom, bada bam. And are you gonna go out in one arrow? 2 arrows. Did I hit him when he fell down? I don't know about that. I might have hit him when he fell unconscious. Either way, I'm gonna get some spikes around him.
Okay.
Oh boy. Oh god. Okay, wait, let's take care of this as quickly as possible. Don't stop, don't stop. Oh. Oh. And that is one reason spikes are bad, but they're kind of necessary. Well, on the bright side, I just got Prime without having to use Athena. Oh yeah. Oh, that's plenty. Oh, that's all the Prime that I'll ever need. Alright, well, here you go, dude. Might as well take this. Let's see if you got smacked. Alright, moment of truth here in just a second. We shall see if we done fucked up, or if it's gonna be okay. Cross your fingers, people. Here we go. Oh no, it got hit. Oh yeah, it's all kinds of fucked up. Oh boy. Alright, yeah, we're not gonna... Yeah, I don't want to tame this at 70%. Let's pull that all off. Yeah, we're not gonna do that. I don't see much sense of taming a 145 if it's gonna be 70% effective. So I'm just gonna let this thing go and let it wake up. I'll probably just take these spikes down, maybe. Alright, more than likely this thing is gonna die, because 3 terror birds just attacked all these spikes a second ago. So laying unconscious here near the swamp, it's probably gonna die. But that's okay. I've already got a 145 male, so I'm not too stressed about it. And it's not gonna give me a new grid, but it just kinda sucks. Oh boy, is it getting dark. Wow. Is that a tech Quetzal? What the hell? I haven't seen one of those in a long time. Alright, spikes are going in there. I'll keep the scuba, obviously. Let's put the shotgun. Let's put Athena and Xavier and my tools. Probably all my ghillie gear. And let's do it, people. Let's dive in a cave. Alright, it's time for some scary shit. I'm already pissing on the floor and we haven't even started yet. Oh yeah, my dude is fucking cold down here. He's an ice cube. I think I'll be okay, as long as I pop those med brews every now and then. But we shall say. Oh yeah, this cave is always scary as fuck. Oh, I hate this cave. I really hate it. Why am I down here? Why are we doing this? Fuck this. Oh, that's an alpha shark down there. Oh, and there's another alpha shark right there. That's lovely. All of this is lovely. Oh, there's a loot crate! Ha-ha! Alright. If we can loot this, that will be 1 out of 5. Here we go. Here we go. Bada boom. Bada bam. That is an Ascendant Caprisuchus saddle blueprint, which does nothing for me, but it's 1 out of 5 crates. And I probably should stop and get some stamina here real quick. I absolutely hate sitting in this cave, surrounded by badness. But you gotta do what you gotta do sometimes. Oh, another alpha shark. Right in the fucking path. Isn't that lovely? Oh, boy. There's no way around, is there? Probably not. Oh, God, I don't know how I feel about this. What level is this thing? 30s. It's not like crazy. Oh, God. Okay. Alright. Well. Grab your testicles, people. We're going in. Ah! 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 Okay. Oh, my God. Cactus broth. Thank you. Dude, cactus broth is the shit. Are you kidding me? Okay, I see another loot crate. And it looks like a red one to me. But it is beside that stonefish. I can't recall. I think they're aggressive when you get close to them. I'm pretty sure. I also want to make sure that this is red. It's kind of hard to tell in this lighting. I might turn down the gamma real quick because that would probably be a better indication. Is it red? I don't think it is. I think it's hard to tell, though. Underwater, sometimes the red ones look like they're blue. If I turn the gamma down even farther, let's do like 0.5. I don't know. That might be a blue one. It's so hard to tell. The loot would probably tell me. If I loot it and it's really good, it's a red loot crate. Let's see. Level 50 Dunkleo. Alright, I'm gonna risk it for the biscuit, I think. I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna try looting it. And then we're gonna swim as fast as we can. And there's a surface up there I can get to. Please don't murder me. Please don't murder me. Okay. Okay, loot. I don't know if that was a red one or not. The loot was kind of shit. Let's come up here and take a look real quick. It was a Journeyman Diplodocus saddle blueprint. I'm thinking that was probably not a red loot crate. So I'm not going to count it. Alright, if memory serves me right, I don't think there's any crates up on this land. I think they're all in the ocean. I think. And I'm not equipped to deal with this up here. So I think I'm just going to leave this. I'm not going to brush with death again. We're just going to go back in the ocean here, check on the way out, and call it quits. Alright, well you better hold on to your testicles again, boys, because here we go. We're squeezing on back through. Please don't, please don't, please don't. Oh my god. Oh my god, did we make it? Please. Okay, we made it. Whew. Whew, mama. I can't quite remember if there's loot crates that spawn down by the artifact, but I'm gonna check it while I'm here. Because I got cactus broth running, I might as well. And then if we need to dip, we'll just dip. Oh, boy, that's a bunch of badness. Holy shit, I don't even know if I want to go through here. My god. Fuck that. Well, there's another crate, but it does not look like a red one to me. It looks like another blue one. But the loot is probably going to be the defining factor, so let's take a little gander. Ascendant flak helmet! And an Ascendant, fucking Daedon saddle. I think that was a red one. I'm pretty sure, based on the loot, I think that was a red crate. I'm gonna count that. We're gonna count that as 2 of 5. I have another broth that I can drink, but I really don't want to waste it if I don't have to. I think we're okay. Right up here's the entrance, so we should be good. Oh man, I was squeezing my little butt cheeks that whole time. That was terrifying. Alright! Whew! We made it, people! I'm gonna tuck inside this little hut for a second so we can check out some of that loot that we didn't have a better chance of looking at. Let's see. We got this sweet flak helmet, 429.2 armor. That's actually pretty solid. And that's decent durability on that thing, too. That might be our best in slot helmet for a good long time. I'm actually going to slip that guy on right now. And then we got this stego saddle from that one light that we looted. It's a blueprint, actually. We got a Journeyman Diplodocus saddle blueprint, and we've got an Ascendant Daedon saddle blueprint, and we got an Ascendant Caprisuchus saddle blueprint. So none of those I'm real crazy about. I don't really think we're going to have a need for those. So, it is what it is. The important thing is, we've got 2 out of the 5 loot crates that we need, and that's what we're kind of shooting for at this moment. Tried for the squid, didn't work out so well. So loot crates is probably what's next up on my list, because that's going to secure us a grid, and it's kind of a guaranteed grid when you think about it. So at this point I had been recording for a very long time and decided to head back to the base and end the recording here. But I didn't quite want to end things there when we were still so far from achieving one of the goals of this episode. So the next morning I logged back in and dove into the cave for some more loot. Straight out the gate I found a red loot crate with a sick compound bow, putting us at 3 out of 5 crates needed for the new grid. Shortly afterwards I stumbled across a yellow crate that was heavily guarded and just ignored it for the time being. Then I found another loot crate in the same spot we found one prior, so I swam in and snagged the loot. The other crate that I had found was a little more difficult given the eels surrounding it. I knew I couldn't just swim in and take it, so I had to try to kill the eels in order to loot it. This led to an immediate heart attack as an eel flew out of literal fucking nowhere and stunned me. Luckily I was able to make it to shore and use med brews to heal up. I basically used this little shore to my advantage, tucking in the water when they swam away to get some shots off, and then returning to it once they started coming after me. One by one I took them out with the crossbow, and even gained a level by killing them. Just when I thought the coast was clear, another seemingly invisible eel appeared out of nowhere and gave me a second heart attack. At this point I was certain I had lost some years off my life, and my lower lip was bleeding profusely from biting it while trying not to scream. I eventually killed the eel, took the mediocre loot, and carried on. On the way out of the cave, I spotted a 140 dolphin, which would have been a pretty sweet tame to search for squids and crates in the ocean. Unfortunately, ARK is broken in so many ways, and apparently this dolphin thought that he could leave the atmosphere that he normally survives in, burning into a crisp like a goddamn vampire. Later on in the day, I attempted a second dive into the cave for some more loot crates, and straight away found our 4th red crate out of 5. While attempting to loot it, however, a horde of sharks surrounding it decided to aggro on me. At first I didn't think this was a big deal because I can outswim them, but then I quickly realized that there were plenty of alpha sharks that I couldn't outswim. After respawning at the little bunker, I quickly dove back down inside the cave to inspect the situation and witness my body being violated in so many ways.
Sharks with frickin' laser beams attached to their heads.
So I quickly flew back to base, made a bunch of throwaway gear, and returned to the cave once more. What was my plan, you might ask? I was planning to suicide by aggroing the sharks away from my body so I could swim over and loot my things. I just had to be sure to drop all the items in my inventory as to not technically die with any items and avoid potentially losing any grids. Fortunately, my little cheatsy doodle method worked, and I was able to successfully retrieve my items and avoid any further damage. After getting my things back, I continued to swim throughout the cave looking for crates, but alas, there were no more. At this point, I had returned to the base and concluded our otherwise off-screen shenanigans. So to recap everything, I looted quite a few useful items from the dives and was able to get us to 4 out of 5 red loot crates needed for a new grid, making the goal very much achievable in the next episode. But that is going to have to wrap it up for this episode, people. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed, please be sure to go down below and press that like button. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and please keep leaving me comments because they warm my little Bonahart. Thank you again so much for watching, and I will see you in the next episode.